All right, what's up, everybody? This is Andy, and I'm getting over a cold, but don't worry, Scratch Ticket Thursday will be recorded like it should be every Thursday, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, I had already done this video, the second part, but I fucked up my camcorder to the point where not only did I mess up recording halfway through, so I had to make it into two other videos. Then when I took the memory card out, it fucking corrupted the memory card to the point where I couldn't even take it off of my camcorder and put it on the computer to upload it. So I just realized that now, and for the last 20 minutes I've been trying to fix it. I finally did, magically, okay? So that's pretty cool. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this in the first pickup video I did, but there was a game that I was waiting for. It's pretty rare. I don't know if I even mentioned what it was, or even if I mentioned that I was waiting on it. And I said that, if I did say this, I said that I was waiting for it to, I was going to wait for it to come in, but then I said screw it, because I'm running out of room here in the living room. I got to put all these games away and everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that game for the last part of this video, which will be a cool surprise. But let's go right on into this video. These are all the games that I picked up when I went down to New York City. There were three stores that I went to. The first two I had been to before. The third one I had never been to. And I picked up a lot of rare and cool stuff. So I'm pretty pumped about what I picked up. I spent a ton of money. We're talking almost $3 grand on all these games. And again, I don't know if I mentioned this in the first video or not, but again, my collection started from everything I had as a kid to then collecting to original Game Boy games, just complete in box, as many as I could find, to collecting systems I never had, to realizing that, okay, I'm going to try to collect every Disney game out there for every system that I own, to then realizing that all the movies that I've seen or have on DVD, I'm going to go out and buy. Or if I have a game that was based on a movie, I have to go out and buy the movie. So let's go right on into this. The first store I went to was a store called VideoGames New York. Now, VideoGames New York had a ton of rare stuff. Go there if you want to get some cool stuff. They got like sealed Atari Lynx games. They have a ton of DS, a ton of PS1, a ton of Saturn and Genesis. I picked up a lot of rare Genesis titles, so I was pleased by that. But I was hoping for like a Jaguar in the box. I was hoping for like a Lynx in the box. Wasn't able to find those, but I was able to find some games. So let's go right on into it. We'll start with, I guess, Dreamcast first. Picked up two games for the Dreamcast there. They're both sealed, although this one, both seals are coming off. The first was Disney Pixar Buzz Lightyear of Star Command from Disney Interactive and Activision. $40 for this, sealed. Calling all intergalactic space rangers. Only you, Buzz Lightyear, and your elite Space Ranger team can defeat the evil Emperor Zurg and his bad guys in their dark quest for universal domination, to infinity and beyond. In-game graphics blast off with power-ups like shields, rockets, homing weapons, and lightning beams. Fight on jetpacks, hoverboards, jet bikes, and more. Explore 14 levels and 8 amazing 3D worlds, including Planet Z. Again, from Disney Interactive and Activision, we have sealed copy of Disney Pixar Buzz Lightyear of Star Command for the Dreamcast. Also sealed, I picked up Looney Tunes Space Race, and as you can see, the seal is coming off. From Infogrames and Warner Brothers. Blast off into space. Join your all-time favorite cartoon characters in a hilarious rocket-powered ride through the galaxy. Loaded with outrageous pranks and comical commentary, it's a winner-takes-all race for the Intergalactic Championship. A must-buy for Dreamcast owners, says GameFan.com. Race is one of 8 all-time favorite characters like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Sylvester, Yosemite Sam, Wile E. Coyote, and more. Pummel opponents with hilarious Acme gags like the portable hole, falling elephants, and instant storm. Zoom through 12 challenging tracks that include shortcuts, jumps, and traps in over 40 events. Challenge your friends, up to 4 players, in the funniest multiplayer mode in the universe. So www.looneytunes-games.com, from Infogrames, www.us.infogrames.com. And Warner Brothers, it's 4-player action. We have a sealed copy of Looney Tunes Space Race for the Dreamcast. Next up, a sealed copy of Scrabble for the GameCom. Picked this up for $10. I was happy to grab it. I was hoping for more GameCon games. I wasn't able to find any that I didn't have. So, Scrabble crossword game. This portable version of the all-American classic crossword game contains all the rules, challenge, and fun of the beloved board game, while adding the simplicity of a touchscreen interface. Select your tiles and shuffle your rack, then go for maximum points. So, Gamecom and Tiger Electronics, we have Scrabble for the Gamecom sealed. Okay. Let's see here. Next up, we have for the Sega Saturn. This is a rare title. It's $109.99 used, $110. But wait a minute, I didn't get this. Or maybe I did. Yeah, I did get it there. Did I get it there? Huh. Yeah, I think so. Batman Forever, the arcade game for the Saturn, $110 for this used. It's a fight to the finish as Batman and Robin take on the dark side of Gotham City's underworld. Power up with devastating special moves and gadgets to master the unique combo system, which allows up to 400 hits. Batman Forever, the arcade game. 100% computer-rendered street brawling arcade action. So here you have on the in-game graphics, it says 2-player arcade Armageddon featuring the dynamic duo. Power-ups to access devastating special moves. Powerful gadgets, Batarang, Shockwave Bomb, Taser Gun, and more. 4 times the Fighting Fury with hologram mode. So from Acclaim Entertainment, 1 or 2 players, it is Batman Forever, the arcade game for the Sega Saturn, complete. Very rare game to find for the Saturn. Okay, next I think we're going to go to the PS2 games, so let's go right on into those. First up, let me put these over here. We have Lego Indiana Jones, The Original Adventures from TT Games and LucasArts. I paid $10 for it. Build, battle, and brawl your way out of trouble. Play through all 3 classic Indiana Jones movies and relive your favorite indie adventures in the tongue-in-cheek world of Lego. Explore and discover. Battle enemies, solve puzzles, and seek out the world's greatest treasures. More than 60 playable characters. Take control of Indy, his friends, and even his enemies. Team up with a friend and together search for fortune and glory. Whip into action. Attack and disarm enemies. Swing over perilous pits and interact with Lego objects and puzzles. www.legoindianajonesgame.com and www.lego.com. Again, for the PS2, we have Lego Indiana Jones, The Original Adventure. Next up, for $20, I picked up Looney Tunes Acme Arsenal from WB Games. Bring out the big guns. Tag team with the Toons to stop the evil scientists from wiping out the past and destroying the future. Rocket through the ages, explore Looney worlds, and command an enormous arsenal of Acme weapons. Play as Bugs, Daffy, Taz, Marvin, and more. Over 15 pick-up and play Acme weapons, plus a range of upgradable melee weapons. Take on the evil scientist solo or in 2-player co-op mode. Battle your friends in Looney Arena battle mode. Race a jet scooter through space or wage battle in a sidecar motorcycle. So again, from from WB Games, we have Looney Tunes Acme Arsenal for the PS2. Okay, next up, we have Top Gun Combat Zones from Titus Software. Top Gun Combat Zones. Do you feel the need? With more than 36 different missions, including Academy Tutorial, Top Gun lets you experience every single situation a jet fighter pilot can put himself through. High-altitude dogfights, low-flying blitz attacks, military and civil rescues, city, Arctic, desert, night, day missions. You will have to fight against dozens of different airborne and ground-based enemy vehicles to prove worthy of your Top Gun pilot rank. No other game allows you to fly down back streets on your side, taking pot shots at enemy launchers with such realistic details. 36 different missions set over 3 distinct periods of time. Master the Navy's top planes, F-14, F-18, F-22, and try to get the 5 bonus unlockable planes, F-4 Phantom, JSF, YF-23, Osprey, and Harrier. Fly over 4 superb locations: Southeast Asia, Gulf States, Arctic Circle, Miramar Base with numerous landscapes, cities, sea, oil rigs, Arctic, and desert zones. Astounding and very detailed graphics, especially in low-level flying combat, to emphasize arcade action over mere piloting. changing light and weather conditions, bonus scoring system rewarding your low-level flying and expert maneuvering, incredible replay mode enabling the review of the entire mission through all sorts of different cameras and angles, build an unlimited number of new missions, choosing your playing terrain, difficulty level, and opponents with the quick start mode. So from Titus Software for the PS2, Top Gun Combat Zones. This was $5. Next up, I was searching for this game for a long time, finally able to find it. I don't know why I wasn't able to find it. MLB Power Pros 2008 from Konami and 2K Sports for $8. MLB Power Pros 2008. Major League Mania. Experience baseball the Power Pros way. MLB Life. Experience life in the big leagues. As your favorite MLB star, your own created player. Work your way from AA all the way to majors in success mode. Pick up and play controls and amazingly realistic gameplay provide thrills for all ages. Cartoon versions of MLB stars provide a fun but realistic game experience. So from Konami and 2K Sports, we have MLB Power Pros 2008 for the PS2. And then I picked this up for $25. This is sealed. Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2. $25. Old School is in session. Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2 brings together 20 of Capcom's golden arcade games on one disc. Turn your console into a time machine and take a walk down memory lane to relive the glory days of yesteryear. Unlock sheets to help you beat your favorite games. Gallery mode gives you a glance at the original art while giving a history lesson on the games. Unlockable training videos give you the upper hand in performing powerful moves. So here are the 20 Capcom classics. You can see the graphics here. 1941, Avengers, Black Tiger, Block, Captain Commando, Eco Fighters, Knights of the Round, The King of Dragons, Last Duel, Mega Twins, Magic Sword, Quizzin' Dragons, Sidearms, The Special Rumbler, Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Strider, Three Wonders, Tiger Road, and Varth. www.capcom.com. Sealed copy, PS2 Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2. And then also for the PS2, got a bunch more here. I've been looking for this forever, Atari Anthology from Atari. Paid $10. 85 games that started a revolution. Step back in time to the days of video arcades and original in-home entertainment with this all-time greatest collection of authentic Atari titles. Each game is totally addictive with all of the same fast action, sights, and sounds you remember. 18 classic arcade games including Asteroids, Battlezone, Centipede, Missile Command, Tempest, and more. 67 Atari 2600 games including Gravatar, Millipede, Super Breakout, Video Pinball, Yars' Revenge, and Warlords. Atari.com/Atari Anthology for the PS2, Atari Anthology. Picked up a sealed copy for $20 of Street Fighter Alpha Anthology. Ready, Set, Fight Alpha Style. The definitive Alpha collection comes together with 5 prized fighters united for the first time. Street Fighter Alpha Anthology is a perfect compilation of Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold, and Street Fighter Alpha 3. And then you have a bonus Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix released on consoles as Pocket Fighter. Capcom.com/Street Fighter. We have Street Fighter Alpha Anthology sealed for the PS2. Next up, also sealed, we have Mega Man Anniversary Collection for $20. Contains 10 classic Mega Man titles. Mega Man, a tribute to Mega Man. Challenge yourself with some of the most extreme Mega Man titles ever released while unlocking a cache of bonus features in the special collection to celebrate Mega Man's 15th anniversary. For the first time ever, play the original Mega Man 1 through 8 series and 2 never before released in the US arcade games on your PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system. 10 Mega Man games on one disc, footage from the original Mega Man TV series, learn about the history of Mega Man, over 30 original artwork selections, remixed music tracks inspired by the series, and more. www.capcom.com. Sealed copy of Mega Man Anniversary Collection. Also sealed for $20, I picked up Mega Man X Collection. Mega Man X Collection, the ultimate collection of Mega Man X adventures. Classic side-scrolling Mega Man action. Experience action-packed Mega Man X through Mega Man X6 in one incredible collection. Exclusive hidden feature Mega Man Battle and Chase racing game, never before released in the US. Original and sketch art, remix soundtracks, plus much more. 7 games in one. www.capcom.com/Megaman. Sealed Mega Man X Collection. And the last PS2 game I grabbed, this was for $10. It is Space Race. Speed is your only weapon. It's fast, furious, futuristic racing excitement. Take off in a rocket-powered space racer in this crazy, no-holds-barred, winner-takes-all contest that spans the galaxy. Loaded with outrageous pranks, gags, and hilarious Acme devices, this is the craziest racing this side of the universe. The features: 5 race modes, tournament, race, time trial, multiplayer Acme events, 8 incredible worlds and 14 challenging tracks, 9 all-time favorite Looney Tunes characters to choose from, including Yosemite Sam, Wile E. Coyote, and Bugs Bunny, pummel opponents with falling anvils, portable holes, and other classic Looney Tunes gags, the funniest 1 to 4 player action around, 3 difficulty levels, guaranteed challenges for gamers of all abilities, www.looneytunes-games.com, www.us.infogrames.com, from Infogrames and WB, Space Race for the PS2. So those are the PS2 games I got. Now we're going to get into some other stuff. We got a whole bunch of stuff here. Let's start with 3 DS games I grabbed. First is Spider-Man Edge of Time. Picked this up for $15. Fight Today, Save Tomorrow. $2,099. A chaotic dystopian future results from the untimely death of Spider-Man. Fight across the span of a century to save the world and Spider-Man himself in this thrilling race against time. Your actions in one world impact the other. Battle deadly villains exclusive to the Nintendo DS such as Rhino, Shocker, and Menace. So again, from Activision and Marvel, www.marvel.com, we have Spider-Man Edge of Time for the DS. Next up for the DS, picked this up for $5. It is Personal Trainer Math. I'm a huge fan of math in general, algebra especially, addition, subtraction, really multiplication is my favorite of the 4. Improve your basic math skills with the 100 cell method, so I'm pumped to grab this. Practice math in a flash. Personal Trainer Math gives you a fun, rewarding way to improve your math abilities. Improve your skills with dozens of exercises from simple addition and subtraction to multiplication tables and more, or compete with friends or classmates in a variety of multiplayer challenges. Minutes a day is all it takes. Daily math drills increase in difficulty as you play, so that you'll always be challenged to improve. The innovative Kageyama 100 cell method makes learning a game. These fast-paced, high-speed arithmetic problems keep your math basics fresh. So for the DS, we have Personal Trainer Math. And then the last DS game I grabbed there was Disney's Phineas and Ferb Ride Again for $5. Blast off to new adventures, non-stop action, awesome rides, cool gadgets. Join the online community for Disney gamers. Details inside. Disney.com/Phineas and Ferb game. DS multi-card wireless connected games require 1 game card per player. Wireless broadband access required for online play. Basic reading abilities needed to fully enjoy this game. So from Disney Interactive, we have Disney Phineas and Ferb Ride Again for the DS. Now, let's go right on into the PS1 titles. We'll just move these over here because we've got a lot of stuff to cover. So these are the PS1 titles I grabbed there. First up, we have Tiny Toon Adventures Plucky's Big Adventure from WB. Picked this up for $30 used. Plucky forgot to do his homework again, and now he's in big trouble. He needs your help to build a time machine that will take him back to the past and make things right. Play as Plucky Duck, Buster Bunny, Babs Bunny, or Hampton, and get ready to save the day, or at least Plucky's hide. Collect equipment to solve puzzles, play as different Tiny Toon characters, explore 20 different environments, side-splitting fun for the whole family. From WB, we have Tiny Toon Adventures Plucky's Big Adventure. Next up for the PS1, $35. I got hosed on this, and I'll explain why. First of all, this is $35, as you can see that. Over here it says $25. They charged me $35. I could find this used for like $10, so I got raped on this game. But it's Star Wars Dark Forces for the PS1. Experience first-person firepower in the Star Wars universe. Behind a veil of secrecy, the evil empire is creating a doomsday... Can't even read this fucking shit. It's creating a doomsday army, one that, if finished, will become the final cog in the Empire's arsenal of terror and domination. Join the Rebel Alliance's Covert Operations Division, infiltrate the Empire, then battle every man and machine the Imperial forces can muster. Search a vast galaxy for clues, attack enemy bases, all in a desperate attempt to stop the activation of this fearsome new weapon. So from LucasArts for the PS1 Star Wars Dark Forces. Next up, we have for $35, and again, this is $25 on the side, so I got raped again here. Star Wars Masters of Terras Kasi from LucasArts. Intense 3D fighting in that galaxy far, far away. 3D fighting at its best, literally hundreds of possible moves, single and two-player modes for an all-out fighting frenzy. Spectacular 3D arenas include Cloud City, Endor, and Dagobah. 2 ways to fight: hand-to-hand and full weapons, wield lightsabers, gaffy sticks, blasters, and more. Features all your favorite Star Wars characters, including Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Boba Fett, and Chewbacca. LucasArts website is www.lucasarts.com. Official Star Wars website, www.starwars.com. From LucasArts, PS1, Star Wars Masters of Terras Kasi. Next up, from New Kid Co. and the WB for the PS1, we have Tom and Jerry in House Trap. I don't know how much I paid for this. The classic cartoon duo comes to life. Play cat and mouse with the 2 guys who invented the game, Tom and Jerry. The unique split-screen design allows you to control your character and keep an eye on your opponent as well. You can set tricky traps all over the place, move on to the next room, and still watch as your pursuer falls victim to your handiwork. A bar of soap or pair of roller skates make for slippery mishaps, while ironing boards and frying pans are a little more direct and to the point. And don't forget, there's always a lawnmower for that trendy haircut. Or, if playing chase is not your style, then stop running, stand tall, and just duke it out toe-to-toe. Unique split screen captures the essence of Tom and Jerry, 1-player or 2-player mode. Play through 15 different rooms. Set traps and watch as your opponent gets caught. Tom and Jerry's friends help out with traps and hints. NewKidCo.com, Warthog.co.uk from WB. And Tom and Jerry in House Trap for the PS1. Next up, I was looking for this game for a long time. I finally found it, and I'm pretty pumped that it's only 20 bucks. It's Duke Nukem Time to Kill from GT Interactive Software. Soundtrack available on Red Interactive Records. Let Them Eat Lead. Travel through time in an all-new Duke Nukem Frag Fest that gives you more of what you crave. More Duke attitude, more hardcore action, more exploration, more shooter mayhem. So you got DukeNukem.com for the PS1, Duke Nukem Time to Kill. Then for 20 bucks, I picked up from Infogrames. This is a sealed copy, actually. Oh, no, it's not. It's not sealed. Never mind. It is Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters from Infogrames and the WB. Join Bugs and Taz in their first ultimate action-packed adventure through time. Experience original gameplay that lets you switch between Bugs Bunny and Taz to conquer obstacles and adversaries. Face off against classic Looney Tunes adversaries like Yosemite Sam, Elmer Fudd, Baba Chop, and Count Blood Count. Explore 4 exciting time periods: the Aztec era, the Viking era, the Arabian era, and Transylvania era. Enjoy over 30 levels of sporting contests, quests, boss encounters, and crazy chases. Play with a friend in the first ever 2-player cooperative gaming for the PlayStation. LooneyTunes-games.com. Again, for the PS1, we have Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters. And last up for the PS1 that I was able to grab there for 20 bucks, Star Trek Invasion from Activision. Stardate 54101.02. It's the 24th century. Borg vessels are rapidly approaching near space Romulans are suddenly attacking Federation vessels, and a respected Starfleet captain has turned renegade, taking his ship with him. As a hotshot pilot in the elite Red Squad Tactical Strike Force under the command of Lieutenant Commander Worf, you must uncover the plot behind this deadly pattern of events and fight back to save the universe from a doomsday scenario. Flying a prototype single-seat combat fighter codenamed Valkyrie, you and your squad members are in for the fight of your lives. www.startrek.com. And here it shows you play as a single player with squad support or go head-to-head with your friends in Hall Space Arenas. A huge selection of awesome weapons come in handy as you pilot a Valkyrie fighter or man a turret to defend larger ships. So, again, for the PS1 Star Trek Invasion. Now we're going to get to some of the other cool stuff that I was able to grab. Let's start first with Game Gear. I have 3 of them. First up is a sealed copy in pretty okay condition, kind of crunched, but for 10 bucks I grabbed it. Madden 96 from Blue Pearl Software. Madden 96. Welcome to our coverage of Madden 96. Once again, we've teamed up with John Madden to bring you the most true-to-life interactive football experience available. We rewrote our playbooks and came up with 30 current squads who perform just like their professional counterparts would in similar situations. Try to contain the no-huddle offense of Buffalo or see if you can pick apart the double-talon defense of Atlanta. Madden 96 features full season with playoff tournament and championship game, comprehensive team and position statistics throughout, 30 current squads along with a 1996 All-Madden team, make player substitutions at any position, all new Madden-designed defensive playbook, completely revamped in-depth play design and execution, 1995-1996 rules including 2-point conversions, One player for the Sega Game Gear, we have Madden 96 sealed. Next up, in okay condition, for 15 bucks, I picked up Jeopardy by GameTech for the Game Gear. This part is mushed in, but other than that, it's in good shape. There is a fine art to watching Jeopardy, as any know-it-all can tell you. It used to mean shouting at the television in question form, or turning to anyone within earshot, nodding and calmly saying, "I knew that." GameTech changes all that by giving Jeopardy fans everywhere an opportunity to really buzz in. Alex Trebek hosts this all-new video game version of television's longest-running game show, featuring the digitized television studio, theme music, voice, and photography of Alex himself. This Jeopardy takes full advantage of the graphic and sound capabilities of the Sega Game Gear. With over 1,700 questions and answers, or is that answers and questions, and 300 categories, it's sure to last many seasons without reruns. GameTech's Jeopardy is definitely a smart choice. So you got that for the Game Gear, and also lastly for the Game Gear in pretty damn good condition, we have Wheel of Fortune. America's favorite game show is now bigger and better than ever on the Sega Game Gear. This all-new version features the beautiful Vanna White and over 4,500 new puzzles. Choose the contestant you want to be, play against the computer, or against up to 2 friends. Spin the wheel, buy a vowel, or attempt to solve the puzzle. Only Vanna White knows what lies behind the tiles. Watching your favorite game show is fun, but GameTech's Wheel of Fortune puts you right on the stage. So again, Game Gear version of Wheel of Fortune. And then for the 32X, I was able to grab Virtua Fighter. It's in okay condition, not great. 15 bucks, I grabbed it. The box is ripping over here a little, but other than that, it's okay. Fight the best martial arts masters with over 700 precision moves. Unleash hair trigger, punch, kick combos, throws, and crushing stomps. 8 unique fighters. Each warrior has a personal fighting style, attack strength, and special moves. Rapid, realistic 360-degree combat with 3D polygon graphics. See the fighters from all sides. Fluid animations look just like real fighters. Get totally wrapped up in the action. Plus these new features only on Sega Genesis 32X. Multiple camera angles, low, high, and bird's eye view, and more. Change angles in mid-bout. See every bone-jarring hit again in full match replay. Customize your fighter's clothing. Fight in group competitions with all new tournament mode. Sega Arcade Pad recommended 6-button, 1 or 2 players. Again for the 32X Virtua Fighter. Let's throw that over there. And then I grabbed, these two were sealed. One's a pretty damn good deal. I'll get to that in a minute. But for the PS Vita, I picked up The Amazing Spider-Man for 20 bucks from Activision. Your power, your choices, your playground. Unleash free-roaming, web-slinging action and epilogue story to the film. Perform acrobatic attacks and stealth maneuvers with new web rush system. www.theamazingspidermangame.com. So for 20 bucks sealed for the Vita, The Amazing Spider-Man. And then also sealed, which is a pretty damn good deal I got, considering a used copy is $25 at my local store. This was sealed for $20. It's Mortal Kombat on the Vita. Play as Kratos only on PlayStation. So, the deadliest tournament in the palm of your hand, every combatant and 16 brand new alternate outfits. Utilize the PS Vita's touchscreen and gyroscope features. And then here it says 150 PS Vita combat, 150 new challenge towers. And then this came with a little thing basically saying, as of May 31st, 2014, online matchmaking will no longer function for Mortal Kombat due to GameSpy removing its online infrastructure and support for a number of titles. Please also note that it might not be possible to obtain all the trophies once the online functionality has been shut down. If you have further questions about the shutdown of these services, please visit http://support.wbgames.com. So sealed copy, Mortal Kombat, 20 bucks. Then for the N64, it was the only N64 game I was able to find that I needed. It was complete for $40. We have LucasArts Entertainment Company presents Star Wars Episode 1 Battle for Naboo. For the Queen, for Naboo, for freedom. Attention defenders of Naboo. The Trade Federation must be stopped. Storm through more than 15 missions over land, sea, and space as your freedom fighters rally against the droid armies. Take control of 7 vehicles. The Naboo Starfighter, Giant Speeder, and new craft like the Heavy Stap, Trade Federation gunboat, and more. More than 15 missions. Escape from Theed, search and destroy, sabotage, reconnaissance, convoy, and more. Battle against Trade Federation droids, starfighters, AATs, destroyer droids, battle droids, and much more. Change vehicles mid-mission through specially designated hangars. From the developers of Star Wars Rogue Squadron, www.battlefornaboo.lucasarts.com and www.starwars.com. Factor 5, LucasArts bring you Star Wars Episode 1 Battle for Naboo for the N64. Let's throw that over here. Then for the PS4, I bought this sealed. I didn't even know it came out, but for 20 bucks I grabbed it. It's Back to the Future, the game. 30th Anniversary Edition. The future is back, and this time it's playable. 6 months after Back to the Future Part 3, the DeLorean time machine mysteriously returns to Hill Valley, driverless. Marty McFly must once again go back in time, or else the space-time continuum will be forever unraveled. Featuring Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown, Tom Wilson as Biff Tannen, and Claudia Wells as Jennifer Parker, with a special appearance by Michael J. Fox and introducing A.J. Locascio voicing Marty McFly. Created in cooperation with movie series co-writer and producer Bob Gale. Great Scott. IGN says an enjoyable ride fans shouldn't miss, and GameSpot says strong writing and great personality. Includes an exclusive retrospective behind-the-scenes video featuring an interview with Bob Gale and others involved in the creation of the game. Internet connection required. www.backtothefuturegame.com. So it looks like this is a sequel to Back to the Future Part 3, which I will definitely be playing at some point. Back to the Future, the game for the PS4. I'll throw that here. Now, these are the rare titles I grabbed for the Genesis. So let's get a tissue here, and we'll go right into the Genesis games that I grabbed. Again, I apologize for the sound of my voice. This was actually done 2 or 3 days ago, but because of the fact that my camcorder fucking malfunctioned, I have to redo this whole thing. So everything's all over the place, but let's see if I can go right into here and move back. Okay, this is The Simpsons Bart vs. the Space Mutants. Okay, from Flying Edge. I paid $30 for it. Hello, fellow humans. Bartholomew J. Simpson here with important news. Space mutants are invading Springfield. That's right, man. A bunch of totally gross monsters are taking over the bodies of the people who live here, and they want to build a weapon that's going to take over the entire planet. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, only I can see them because of my x-ray glasses, so I have to stop them. I've got to spray paint things, get radical on my skateboard, use my slingshot, and generally be a nuisance, man. So if you care about this sorry planet, you'll do the right thing. Save the Earth. Buy this game. Thanks, man. TV Zaniest Family. Your handy slingshot keeps mutants at bay. Stop the aliens from taking over the mall. Homer can't get enough of those glow-in-the-dark donuts. For the Genesis from Flying Edge, The Simpsons Bart vs. the Space Mutants. Next up, put this for $20. We got Batman Returns. So, live all the dazzling action of the mega-hit movie. Leap with Batman into wild acrobatic battle. The Penguin has Gotham City gripped in his twisted flippers. Track the Dark Knight's most feared enemies through intense search and destroy danger. Attack the deranged Red Triangle circus gang with the Caped Crusader's own weapons. Swing on grappling hooks across collapsing rooftops. Pitch deadly batarangs. Rage down goon-infested streets in the Batmobile. Waylay mobs of street thugs by hurling smoke bombs. Wrist shields and swarms of bats from Batman's utility belt. Dodge Catwoman slashing claws and swinging kick. Duel with the homicidal juggler. Fight murderous gargoyles and machine gun-toting clowns. Then slog through poisoned sewers to a heart-stopping face-off in the Penguin's lair. Hunt the Penguin through 7 non-stop cityscapes of bone-wrenching action. Batman swoops through empty air on his wing cape and swings from a bell rope over a bottomless chasm. Body-breaking misfits like Catwoman, the Juggler, and the Gargoyles are ready for mass damage. So one player for the Genesis, we have Batman Returns. Next up, I was happy I picked this up in pretty damn good shape. It is $30. Clay Fighter from Interplay. A Sega arcade pad recommended, 6 buttons. It's in pretty damn good shape. Let's kick some clay. Sticks and stones might make him groan, but clay really ticks him off. Bad Mr. Frosty is the name and action is the game. Fists and feet will fly in other parts as Frosty and his friends smack it out in head-to-head fighting action. This 16 meg cartridge gives you enormous, larger-than-life characters and graphics that will knock the clay right out of you. Join Bad Mr. Frosty, Taffy, Bonker, Helga, Icky Bod Clay, Tiny, and Blue Suede Goo as they slug it out in true Clay Fighter fashion. Clay flies in this major 16 meg cart with Unreal graphics, hilarious head-to-head 1 or 2 player fighting action, Bad Mr. Frosty, Taffy, Bonker, Blob, Helga, Ichabod Clay, Tiny, and Blue Suede Goo talk to you in digitized speech, loads of mind-boggling hidden moves and combos, versus mode to match your wits against your friends, no blood and guts here, huge clay animated characters come to life with amazing digitized sound and voice, speedy combination sequences mean more slaps per second. So for 1 or 2 players from Interplay and Visual Concepts, we have Clay Fighter for the Sega Genesis. Next up, for the Genesis, for $15, I grabbed The Real Game Begins Batman Forever, featuring ultimate Cinefusion technology, real digitized characters, over 80 incredible stages, 2-player fighting action, amazing 3D rendered graphics. Brace yourself for endless action with Batman Forever. Batman and Robin blast into Gotham City in a duo-player fighting game. Armed with over 125 incredible attacks, fierce combat moves, and an arsenal of gadgets, the dynamic duo are ready to battle the diabolical minds of Two-Face and the Riddler. Without question, it's Batman Forever. Here we have over 80 unbelievable stages, over 125 awesome moves, gadgets, and attacks, incredible 3D computer-rendered graphics. Team up as Batman and Robin, real digitized characters and backgrounds, tons of secret rooms and hidden surprises, 1 or 2 players from Acclaim Entertainment. We have Batman Forever for the Genesis. Next up, I picked this up for $15. It's Jurassic Park. Okay, so plunge into a heart-wrenching race for survival. On a tropical island, a violent hurricane rips through the dinosaur preserve, trapping the tourists and freeing the most terrifying animals of prehistory. 2 bigger-than-life ways to play. Be a dinosaur. As a raptor, rampage across the island, battling other beasts and eluding the traps and weapons of your human enemies. As Grant, the paleontologist, arm yourself with tranquilizer guns and sleeping gas grenades, dodge the slashing jaws of the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the paralyzing spit of the Dilophosaurus. 16 mammoth megs of nerve-shredding action, showcasing history's most gigantic dinosaurs, Brachiosaurus, tank-sized Triceratops, widely vicious velociraptors, and the flesh-ripping T-Rex. 1 player for the Genesis Jurassic Park. Next up, I was able to pick this up as well. It's for $20. It's Konami's Animaniacs. It's a Konami classic is what it says. Animaniacs. A lot of trouble is popping up at the Warner Brothers studio. The movie sets of Bungle in the Jungle, Space Wars, and Remember the a la Mode, to name a few, are completely overrun by hilarious hijinks, power-ups, and crazy traps like catapults, runaway trains, giant boulders, and smart bombs. Key props from each set, such as the Hat of Dirk Rugged, the Bad Guy Space Helmet, and the Sheriff's Badge, are missing in action. Rumor has it that the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister Dot are up to their old tricks again. Hello, Nurse. Don't let anything distract you from collecting all the props. You'll see all your favorite Animaniacs characters like Dr. Scratch and Sniff, the Nurse, Mindy, Buttons, and the Hip Hippos. Brain says in level 6 we'll try to nab the props, auction them off for big bucks, and take over the world. Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering? And Pinky says, yeah, Brain, but doesn't that reindeer have an exclusive contract with Santa? You'll have to pick one of the character's special talents to get out of each zany fix. Yakko moves big obstacles and plays paddleball. Wacko is a smash with his mallet. Dot has her irresistible charm. For 1 Animaniac at a time, it's a 1-player game. And then here, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot always travel together. Think of them as the new Brat Pack. They're out of the water tower and out of their minds, but I'll catch them if it takes all 6 levels. So for the Genesis, you got Animaniacs. Then this is pretty pricey. I don't know if I got ripped off or not. But for $40, I picked up 6-pack. You got Golden Axe, Sonic the Hedgehog, Columns, Revenge of Shinobi, Streets of Rage, and Super Hang-On. All 6 games on 1 cartridge. Grab the 6-pack that'll quench your thirst for gaming. Golden Axe, ride a flame-spitting monster to victory. The 3 characters, each with special magic and weapons, battle to save the kingdom, 1 or 2 players. Sonic the Hedgehog, this is it, the original that started it all, 1-player game. Columns, the brilliant puzzle game that will challenge your mind, not just your trigger finger, 1 or 2 players. Super Hang-On, red line your bike and blow away the competition. There's no better thrill than the roar of your pipes as you leave another rider behind, except maybe customizing your bike into an unbeatable racing machine. That's 1 player. Streets of Rage, the ultimate in street combat, 3 characters, 40 moves, and a relentless onslaught of weapon-wielding thugs, 1 or 2 players. And Revenge of Shinobi, use deadly ninja attacks to defeat the evil Neo Zed army. If you fail, their beautiful prisoner dies. It's also 1 player. So 6-pack for the Genesis. This is pretty rare. I was able to get it at a decent price for $40. It is Venom and Spider-Man and Separation Anxiety from Acclaim Entertainment. Special Spider-Man comics offer. Team up as Venom and Spider-Man, all new fighting and power moves. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Venom has been violently split from his living costume, spawning 5 deadly alien symbiotes. In fierce 2-player action, Venom joins forces with his archenemy Spider-Man to face the new strain of evil brought to life by chilling computer-rendered graphics. Between the merciless jury and awesome allies like Ghost Rider and Daredevil, Venom's out to part his symbiote offspring from their newfound life. No sympathy for the symbiote. Smashing 2 heads is better than 1. The verdict is no mercy. The jury believes in capital punishment. Venom and Spider-Man bury the diggers. Web of Confusion and 5 times the Carnage, 1 or 2 players. It is Spider-Man and Venom in Separation Anxiety for the Genesis. Well, good thing I didn't drop my camera this time, because this would have been another 2-part episode. Fucking I suck. Star Trek The Next Generation Echoes from the Past. Let's see what we got here. Space, The Final Frontier. The USS Enterprise races an evil Romulan force for control of the ultimate law and order device. The future of the Federation and the universe rests in your hands. Command the Starship Enterprise. Probe hundreds of strange new worlds and alien vessels with the ship's sensors. Space battle rages when you encounter Romulans in the neutral zone to disable their ships with well-placed phaser and photon torpedo attacks. Join forces with Jean-Luc Picard and the crew of the Enterprise to solve the mysterious Trinity test. Solve it and the Federation is safe. Fail and the universe will never be the same. So for one player, for the Genesis, Star Trek The Next Generation Echoes from the Past. And the last Genesis game I got for $40, also pretty rare, excuse me, $30. It is Quackshot starring Donald Duck. Here you can win a trip to Walt Disney World Resort. See details inside. It's a wild duck chase. Donald unearths an ancient scroll that reveals a long-lost treasure. Off he dashes on a dangerous expedition. He leaps over cacti, sidesteps scorpions, and slides down slopes to claim the loot before Big Bad Pete can get it. It's a quack attack. Donald's temperamental tantrums keep the bad guys running. He thonks them with his plunger and bounces on the handle to hop over their heads. Then he blasts them with gooey bubblegum. Yuck-a-duck. Perilous mountains, deep caves. Donald creeps through the evil Count's castle and plumbs the depths of Aztec ruins. With Huey, Dewey, and Louie's help, we'll find the key to unlock the secret of the most fabulous treasure on Earth. Again, one-player game for the Genesis. We have Quackshot starring Donald Duck. So, let's move those over here, and we're going to get to the last part of Video Games New York. As you can see, I got a whole bunch of shit here. Again, it is a ton of stuff. And we're not even halfway through this video yet, so there's plenty of stuff to go through. So without further ado, let's go right into the Game Boy stuff I grabbed. So first up, wait a minute. Did I mess up? No, I didn't. I'm an idiot is what I am. Okay. So first up, for the Game Boy Color, this is sealed. Bought it for $40. It is Star Wars Yoda Stories from THQ. Grab your lightsaber, young Jedi, and get ready for Star Wars adventuring in Yoda Stories. Assume the role of Luke Skywalker as he trains with Yoda to become a Jedi Knight. Harness the Force and travel across the galaxy to collect devices, weapons, and battle fearsome enemies. Yoda will guide you on many puzzle-based missions where you will meet exotic aliens, explore maps, and deal the Galactic Empire one crippling blow after another. May the Force be with you. Multiple levels of gameplay, numerous and challenging puzzles to solve, countless enemies all over the galaxy to defeat, password system to save your progress, tons of weapons, characters, and vehicles from the Star Wars universe. From THQ, here it shows you gameplay on the Game Boy Color video game system, displays up to 56 colors. Here, gameplay on the Game Boy and Game Boy Pocket systems. We have Star Wars Yoda Stories Game Boy Color sealed. Next up, also sealed, I picked this up for $10. We have Looney Tunes Collection Alert from Infogrames and the WB. Looney Tunes Collector, alert, alert, calling all Looney Tunes. Help Bugs Bunny collect 25 Looney Tunes allies. Use your special abilities to find the 10 missing pieces of the teleporter weapon and throw Marvin the Martian all the way back to Mars. But your fun doesn't end there. Trade with your friends to collect 22 additional characters used to access hidden missions. And that's not all, folks. Stay tuned for Marvin's chance to attack. So here, collect and play up to 47 Looney Tunes characters in 20 graphically stunning worlds. Exchange characters between Game Boy Color consoles via the cable link. Play 6 hilarious real-time games head-to-head against a friend. Looney Tunes and gameplay on the Game Boy Color video game system, it shows. It's only for the Game Boy Color. Again, Looney Tunes Collections Alert. Next up, sealed for the Game Boy Advance, we picked up Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time from Ubisoft. In my quest for redemption, I must control time itself. Deceived by the treacherous Vizier, I was led to release the Sands of Time curse upon the Sultan's kingdom. With little but an ancient dagger and a devious princess to aid me, now I must undo my fatal mistake. Take control of Princess Farah and her bow during special levels. Master the prince's speed, agility, and ferocious fighting skills. Reverse, freeze, and slow time itself with the almighty Sands of Time. Connect with Nintendo GameCube for bonus levels. www.princeofpersiagame.com. Against Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time for the Game Boy Advance. Next up for the Game Boy Advance, we have a sealed copy of Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup for $40. Mount your broomstick for the favorite sport of witches and wizards. Features: lead any of the Hogwarts houses to victory in the Hogwarts Quidditch Cup, play the best Quidditch teams in the world for their coveted Quidditch World Cup, go head-to-head with your friends in 2-player action. Multiplayer games require a game link require a Game Boy Advance Game Link cable sold separately. Connect to the Nintendo GameCube for Quidditch card trading and cooperative gameplay. www.harrypotter.ea.com, www.harrypotter.com. Again, for the Game Boy Advance sealed copy, Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup. Next up is a sealed copy of the Game Boy Advance Top Gun Firestorm Advance from Titus Software. Feel the power of the F-14 in the palm of your hand. Prove yourself that you are a real Top Gun, overcoming breathtaking missions against challenging enemies and even compete face-to-face against your friends in thrilling close combat dogfighting. Have you got what it takes? Are you Top Gun? Engage in 12 exciting and intense missions featuring Arctic, ocean, forest, and desert. Amazingly detailed isometric graphics that bring the missions alive. Two-player deathmatch mode, dogfight friends via the Game Link cable. Multiplayer games require a Game Boy Advance Game Link cable sold separately. And here it shows you gameplay in the Game Boy Advance video game system from Titus. We have Top Gun Firestorm Advance sealed. Also sealed for the Game Boy Advance, we have Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness. Now, this game is going to be a theme for the rest of this video. From Namco, $25, by the way. Miss Pac-Man is back in an all-new, amazing 3D adventure. It's been called the perfect handheld game, now see why. Play your way through 4 huge worlds packed with crazy mazes and puzzles. Try linking up with friends to play the multiplayer games. Dive headfirst into worlds full of dot-chomping mayhem with the first true lady of video games. Endless hours of action-packed fun for the whole family. This is one game you'll not want to be without. So for $25, I picked up a sealed copy of Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness for the Game Boy Advance. Also sealed for the Game Boy Advance from Mastiff, we have Top Gun Combat Zones, $20 brand new. So you've got razor-sharp reflexes and nerves of steel? Prove it. Become a Top Gun fighter pilot. 20 intense varied missions, 3 views mode, 7 from above and from the side, 3 playable fighter jets, 5 high-powered weapons, ready from some hair-raising air-to-air and air-to-ground combat. So from Mastiff sealed, we have Top Gun Combat Zones. Next up, also sealed, we have for $50, by the way, Godzilla Domination. Godzilla Domination. Godzilla 2000, King Ghidorah, Mechagodzilla, Mecha King Ghidorah, Megalon, Mothra, and Rodan. 4-player fighting with single or multi-pack link, over 6 legendary monsters clash in combat, more than 5 destructible cities reduced to rubble, over 3 modes of play including custom mode. Again, from Infogrames sealed for an Atari, we have Godzilla Domination for the Game Boy Advance. This was $90 sealed, by the way, for the Game Boy Advance from Atlas, www.atlas.com. We have Double Dragon Advance. The classic arcade game returns. A global nuclear war has left the world in ruins. There are no laws and no authority to enforce them. It is a world in which violence rules and only the strong survive. Amidst the chaos, gangs emerge as the new elite. On the outskirts of town, twin brothers Jimmy Lee and Billy Lee contemplate their future in the aftermath of the war. But one day, Billy's girlfriend Marion is kidnapped off of the streets, and the brothers receive a letter. It reads, "We have Marion. If you want to see her again, bring us the secret book of So Setsu Ken by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning." Billy is both angry and confused by the mysterious disappearance of his girlfriend. Little does he know that his own brother also has feelings for Marion. Gameplay on the Game Boy Advance video game system. GameSpy.com says an extremely good brawler, the likes of which we haven't seen for years. All new game modes created specifically for this enhanced version, including a 2-player cooperative mode, verse mode, and a 1-player mode where you can control both Lee brothers. Double Dragon Dojo Survival Mode will let you test your skills against an unending number of enemies, play alone or with a friend. All new fighting techniques and weapons such as the dash, punch, rising knee, and wall jump allow you to gain the upper hand. Never before seen stages containing all new enemies and boss characters. From Atlas, sealed for the Game Boy Advance, we have Double Dragon Advance. Next up, for the Game Boy Advance, sealed for $30, LucasArts Entertainment Company presents Star Wars: The New Droid Army from THQ. With the power of the Force at his command, Anakin must stop Count Dooku from creating a new, more destructive droid army. Featuring Yoda, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, Count Dooku, Aurra Sing, and more. Explore locations from the films and investigate a new world at the heart of Dooku's plan. Develop your use of the Force and enhance your lightsaber abilities as you do battle. Gameplay on the Game Boy Advance video game system. Official Star Wars website is www.starwars.com, www.thq.com, www.lucasarts.com. Again, sealed for the Game Boy Advance, Star Wars: The New Droid Army. Also sealed for the Game Boy Advance for $50, I got Classic NES Series Pac-Man from Namco. Chow down and feed Pac-Man's need in the classic NES maze game for the Game Boy Advance. Pac-Man's insatiable hunger unleashed an epidemic that gripped the 80s in a pellet-chomping craze. Now you can catch Pac-Man fever all over again, this time on your Game Boy Advance. Guide Pac-Man through the maze as he gobbles pellets and pieces of fruit, but watch out for Pinky, Inky, Blinky, and Clyde. Multiplayer games require one game pack and a Game Boy Advance Game Link cable sold separately. For the Game Boy Advance, we have Pac-Man, part of the classic NES series. Also, for the Game Boy Advance, this is not sealed. For $25, however, I picked up Power Rangers Wild Force from THQ. Master Org and his evil minions will stop at nothing to rule the world. Only you and the Wild Force Rangers can stop them. Gameplay on the Game Boy Advance video game system. Awesome Megazord battles, pull off new special team attacks, multiplayer action for up to 4 players, customize your Wild Force team. From Buena Vista Interactive and THQ, www.thq.com, we have Power Rangers Wild Force for the Game Boy Advance. And last game that I picked up here at Video Games New York is sealed copy of Pac-Man Collection for the Game Boy Advance from Namco. You have Pac-Man, Pac-Attack, Pac-Mania, and Pac-Man Arrangement. Play Pac-Man at his Ghost Goblin, Pellet Munchin', Fruit Feedin' best. What a better way to bring Pac-Man to the Game Boy Advance than to feature him in 4 of his all-time classic titles. Enjoy the original Pac-Man arcade legend, the Fast and Furious Pac-Attack, and the addictive and challenging Pac-Mania. And now available for the first time outside of the arcade, the special Pac-Man Arrangement with new 3D levels, special moves, power-ups, and big ghosts. Here you have Pac-Man Arrangement, you have Pac-Man, you have Pac-Attack, and you have Pac-Mania. Gameplay on the Game Boy Advance video game system. Again, from Namco, we have Pac-Man Collection sealed for the Game Boy Advance. So those are the games that I picked up at Video Games New York. Okay. Now, next we're going to go into the games that I picked up at the second store. Now, the second store is called 8-Bit and Up. It's also in Manhattan. It's about 2 minutes away, you know, driving if there's no traffic, from Video Games New York, 8-Bit and Up. Now, when I went in there was a game for the Game Gear. It was Power Rangers, the movie, but it was in pretty bad shape, the box was, so I didn't grab it. They didn't have a lot of stuff that I needed. It's still a pretty cool store, so I advise you guys to check it out if you're in the area. But these are the games that I was able to grab. Now, I got a pretty good deal on all these games, and I'll explain why in a moment as we go through them, but we'll keep a running tally of how much I've spent, okay, on all these games, and then I'll tell you what I got the deal for. So we're going to go to the calculator, and we're just going to go right on into this. So let's erase it. First up, for the PS2, I picked up Capcom Classics Collection. Now, if you notice, the second version I got sealed at Video Games New York. I was able to find the first one there. So 22 arcade classics. Capcom's Timeless Classics Reborn. Step back into the golden age of arcade gaming in Capcom Classics Collection. Experience 22 of the most amazing arcade hits spanning nearly a decade of gaming history, now on one disc. Featuring Street Fighter II, 1942, Ghosts and Goblins, Mercs, Legendary Wings, Commando, Bionic Commando, X's, Forgotten Worlds, Gunsmoke, Ghouls and Ghosts, Sun, Section Z, Final Fight, plus 8 more games. www.capcom.com. Price of the game, as you can see, is $14.99, so I'll put that in the calculator. All right. Next up, we have Pac-Man World Rally from Bandai Namco Games. Bandai Namco Games. Gobble, Munch, and Vroom. Join Pac-Man and his friends and a host of Namco characters in the fastest, most exciting kart racing game ever. Race against your friends, against the computer, or fight it out in battle mode with exciting new weapons and crazy pack powers. It's all-you-can-eat adrenaline. Race as one of 14 beloved classic Namco characters. Test your driving skills in race and battle modes. Eat up the competition when you transform into the incredible Pac-Mobile. Play on a variety of brand new and classic arcade-inspired tracks. www.namcobandaigames.com. As you can see, I paid $12.99 for it. So let's add that into the calculator. Let's keep on going. Next up, for the PlayStation 2, I picked up Godzilla Save the Earth from Atari. Weapons of massive destruction. You are Godzilla, towering titan of our time. Put the hurt on flying creatures, mega monsters, armies, and aliens in a war to save humanity. It's city-trampling action that kicks serious tail. Rampage is Space Godzilla, Mothra, Jet Jaguar, and 15 other famous monsters. Unlock and unleash hidden monsters. Stomp through city-crushing slugfests, monster melees, and wild challenges. Hurl skyscrapers and enemies in Tokyo, San Francisco, New York, and more. Dominate online. Godzilla.com. $24.99. Let's put that into the calculator. All right. Next up, the last game I got for the PS2 was Disney Pixar Toy Story 3. Unleash your imagination. Story mode. Dive into the heroic adventures from the Toy Story 3 movie. Exciting mini-adventures. Help Buzz battle Zurg or team up with the Sheriff Woody to protect his town. Disney.com/Toy Story Videogames. Disney.com/Videogames. $12.99 for that. Let's throw that in there. Next up for the Dreamcast, I picked up Star Wars Demolition. A LucasArts Entertainment Company presents Star Wars Demolition from the creators of Vigilante 8 and Vigilante 8 Second Offense, Total Vehicular Carnage in a galaxy far, far away from LucasArts. The mighty Jabba asks that you die honorably. Winner take all in 8 intense arenas with over 10 Star Wars vehicles to choose from. Blast your way to victory with an arsenal that includes laser cannons, proton torpedoes, and concussion missiles. Total vehicular mayhem, special attacks in 4 game modes, including tournament and high stakes. Here you have the Racer, you have Rancor, Boba Fett, Aura Singh, Land Speeder, Pod Racer, RTST, or ATST, Battle Tank, Desert Skiff. Demolition.lucasarts.com, StarWars.com. $19.99, as you can see, is the price. So we'll throw that in there. Throw that into the Dreamcast pile. Next up for the PlayStation 1, we have Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, The Hidden Empire. It's a custom PlayStation edition from LucasArts. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, this completely original chapter in the Star Wars saga offers breakthrough technology and graphics and an entirely new storyline. Experience the most exhilarating and interactive space combat in this or any galaxy. $14.99 is the price, as you can see. So I'll throw that in the PS1 pile. Next up for the Nintendo DS is Major League Baseball 2K12 with Justin Verlander on the cover from 2K Sports. Be perfect. Total control pitching and batting. Control the action on the field with simple, intuitive controls, perfect for gaming on the go. Season and postseason modes. Run through the gauntlet of a 162-game season or skip ahead to the excitement of October baseball. Baseball cards. Collect over 250 unlockable player cards. $12.99 was the price. Let's throw that in there. Throw that in the DS pile, which I don't even know. Here it is right here. And then for the Genesis, I was able to pick up Mike Ditka Power Football for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive systems. Offer inside for a free 38 by 26 poster by Boris Vallejo of Cover Art. 8 megs of power, that's how I beat up the competition, says Mike Ditka, who is a head coach of the Chicago Bears. Superior graphics, super realistic gameplay, total control. That's how Mike Ditka Power Football kicks butt and takes names. It's the ultimate balance of action and strategy. But hey, don't take my word for it. Compare the stats for yourself. The power of a real NFL referee. 31-year veteran Jim Tunney makes all the calls. The power of 4 passing modes. Real-time or stop action with user or computer-assisted receivers. The power of total control. The only football game that lets you make substitutions. The power of choice, 28 pro teams from all the NFL cities. The power of single games, final drive, and championship playoffs. The power of fully digitized sound effects and music, designed by Tim Wilson. Here you have new power bar kicking game. It'll have you booming them in no time. A power pack playbook of over 80 plays. Offense, defense options up the wazoo. 8 megabits of raw power. The biggest thing to hit football since the... I don't know what the fuck it says because the sticker's on here. But $14.99, so let's throw that in. And throw that in the Genesis pile here. And then the last game I picked up was Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures from Namco, an interactive cartoon. Enter an original animated adventure with the world's first video game hero. But the star of your cartoon has a mind of his own, and it's going to take all your skills and patience to carefully guide Pac-Man through this hilarious action-packed cartoon adventure. With a revolutionary new character guidance interface, or CGI, Pac-Man 2 is a game unlike anything you've ever experienced before. So step into Pac-Man's new and exciting interactive cartoon world. It's a whole new way to play. Take Pac-Man on some way-out adventures, including an intense hang glider fight, 1,000 different cartoon-quality animations, including a superhero look, bonus gameplay. Step into the Pac City arcade and play the original Pac-Man and the Mystery Pac-Man in their entirety. 3 games in 1. $8.99, as you can see. So when we add everything up, it's $137.91. We times, I don't know New York State tax, but I'll just do mass, is 6.75, I think. That's $9.30, right? So add $9.30 to $137.91 plus $9.31. So it's $147.22. Okay. The guy gave it everything for me for about $100. And when I walked in, he says, "Hey, I'm going to give you some discounts." And I said, "Thanks, man." And he jokingly looked at me and said, "Well, thank you for buying more than one game." So I appreciate. I assume that he was giving me the discount, and I assume that people that walk into that store only buy like the cheap shit. I'm not saying that I bought anything, you know, very rare, obviously, over there, but they probably just buy like a $5 game because they're deadbeats or whatever the case may be. So he appreciated me coming in and buying more. So that was pretty awesome. Now, the final, almost final part of this video is the third and final store that I went to in New York City. This is right by Times Square. It is a place called J&L Games. J&L Games, if you walk in there, it is beautifully lit. The store is extremely bright. You can see everything. It's very almost futuristic when you walk in with all the stuff. It almost reminds me of like an Apple store. I've never really been in one, but I've seen one, you know, not walking in, but I've looked and seen them. I bought a whole bunch of shit at this store. Now, before I go into the games, they did have a complete in-box Jaguar for $350. I almost bought it, but didn't for a multitude of reasons. Reason number one, box, by the way, was in almost mint condition. So that's the main reason I almost bought it. But when we opened the system up, there were two things wrong with it. Number one, even though the system itself was in its plastic baggie, when you pulled the system out, it looked like somebody had ate all over it. There were crumbs everywhere. So that made me very leery, especially when I can go on eBay and find a complete in box for $200 to $250. Second reason I didn't buy the Jaguar was because it did not have the manual that came with it and all that stuff. So that's why I didn't buy it. Had it had the manual and all that, had the system not looked like it had been eaten on, I would have grabbed it and fucking ran away. Because the ones on eBay, even though they're $200 to $250, they really don't have boxes that are in great shape. So, first game we're going to go into here from J&L is complete in box Genesis, pretty damn good shape. It is Jurassic Park Rampage Edition, paid $40 for it. Here, Jurassic Park is more dangerous than ever. Fight for your life with two ways to play. Be a raptor. Collect the eggs to save your species before the island is destroyed. Rampage across the island with new raptor moves. Tail whip, arm guards, aerial, spin kick, deadly dinos. Be Grant. Gather all the dinosaur eggs and get off the island alive. Arm yourself with tranquilizer guns, grenades, machine guns, and rocket launchers to fend off attacks by ferocious dinosaurs and enemy agents. All new areas to explore. Ride a galloping Gallimimus on a savannah hunt. Soar through the aviary in the clutches of a Petronodon, and trek through the ancient ruins on a Triceratops. Fast-paced roller coaster action and intense arcade-style gameplay for one player. It is a pretty damn good copy of Jurassic Park Rampage Edition for the Genesis, $40. That was the only Genesis game I grabbed there. Let's go right into the PS2 stuff. I grabbed a lot of rare PS2 games. Some are very, very pricey. None other than, let's just go over this one. This is used, $90. This is not a 3, it's an 8. $89.99. Okay, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. Live it, build it, survive it. Unless I can rip this off, I can. Dream it, build it, survive it is the slogan. 3D action sim. Jurassic Park your way. You hold in your hands the ultimate power of creation and destruction. Design, build, and rule your own thrilling theme park with real dinosaurs as the main attractions. Command everything from the ticket prices to the T-Rex. The world of Jurassic Park is yours. A powerful world-building engine allows you to easily build the Jurassic Park of your dreams. Test your skill in 12 intense missions, including visitor rescue and stopping a dino rampage, breed and care for more than 25 types of dinosaurs in the hatchery and in the field. Multiple view modes, including Ranger Cam, Chopper Cam, Safari View, and Visitor View, offer unique angles to see all the amazing sights. So from Vivendi Universal Games, we have Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, very rare for the PS2. Next up, also a pricey game. For $65 used, I pick up Metal Slug Anthology from SNK Playmore, www.snkplaymoreUSA.com. No One Is Left Behind. The 7 best military action shooter games now on one disc. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of Metal Slug by joining the Metal Slug team on 7 separate adventures that span across the life of the franchise in this definitive collection. You have pick up and play non-stop action, arcade perfect port of each title, available for the first time, Metal Slug 6. So you have Metal Slug 2, Metal Slug X, Metal Slug 3, Metal Slug 4, Metal Slug 5, and again for the first time, Metal Slug 6. SNK Playmore, www.snkplaymoreUSA.com. Metal Slug Anthology for the PS2, $65 used. For 20 bucks used, picked up Batman Vengeance from Ubisoft, www.ubisoft.com. A darker justice must be served. Action with a vengeance. Become Batman with the blistering martial arts combos, over 500 unique animated moves, and a multifunctional cape with its own AI. Live the Dark Knight. Explore, fight, sneak, decipher, drive, pilot, and even battle in massive mid-air freefalls. Sleek weapons and devices. Wield batarangs, bat grapples, flash bombs, remote charges, bat cuffs, nets, the back launcher, bat scope, and more. Next-gen technology. Featuring 5.1 Dolby surround sound, over 40 minutes of rendered cinematics, and 19 open environments through Gotham City. So Ubisoft, www.ubisoft.com. For the PS2, we have Batman Vengeance. Also, for the PS2, for $25, I picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus from Konami. Specialized moves for each turtle, 4-player shell action, cooperative play, and head-to-head 4-player competition. Unlock a blast from the past, the original TMNT arcade game. Play with up to 4 players. Venture with the turtles to Shell and back in TMNT 2 Battle Nexus. Pick up the action on a strange new planet with mysterious new technology. 2 tail-kicking modes deliver green-knuckled action, including story and Battle Nexus mode. So, www.konami.com/USA for the PS2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus. For the PS2, for 15 bucks from EA and WB, we have Looney Tunes back in action. The hunt is on. Play as Bugs and Daffy on their globe-trotting adventure to find the mythical blue monkey diamond. 5 huge locations with tons of exciting challenges. Interact with your favorite Looney Tunes characters. Test your skill with fun mini-games. Wear outrageous costumes to outwit your enemies. PlayStation 2 exclusives. Fantastic bonus content including Looney Tunes cartoons, trailers, and more. Backinaction.ea.com. Get movie info at LooneyTunesBackinaction.com. Again, for the PS2, Looney Tunes Back in Action. Next up, for 20 bucks, I picked up Batman Rise of Sin Tzu from Ubisoft Entertainment, www.ub.com. A new evil rises. Beyond madness, beyond evil, and driven by a single desire to conquer, Sin Tzu is an enemy unlike any Batman has ever faced. Batman calls upon his allies Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl to stem the tide of this new rising evil. New character debut, Sin Tzu, designed by comics legend Jim Lee, makes history as the first Batman character to debut in a video game. 2-player cooperative gameplay, play solo or recruit a friend to defend Gotham City. 4 playable characters, play as Batman, Robin, Batgirl, or Nightwing. 27-minute making of a villain documentary, which is bonus content featuring comics legend Jim Lee. Ubisoft, www.ub.com for the PS2 Batman Rise of Sin Tzu. For 25 bucks for the PS2, I picked up from Ubisoft Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up, bonus limited edition comic book inside. Pick your battles. Choose from a variety of characters to create a limitless number of matchups. Prepare for an all-out brawl. Lifelike stages, destructible environments, and surprises around every corner. Arcade mode features a comic-style storyline co-written by TMNT co-creator Peter Laird. Fight in a variety of tournament modes with friends or at home online. Again, TMNTgame.com, Ubisoft, www.ub.com. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up for the PS2. Then the last game for the PS2 I was able to grab, this is sealed. For 20 bucks, we have NFL Game Day 2004. August 2003, issue number 8. Pressure-sensitive button commands delivers total control headset technology, delivers chat and voice recognition capabilities. Game Day offers best and deepest online mode ever. Competitive play heats up both on and offline. www.989sports.com, www.nfl.com. Team succeeds under pressure. New pressure-sensitive ball carrier controls mean you determine the severity of special moves. Your skill level is the difference between getting tackled for a loss and rushing for a big chunk of yardage. Online depth solidifies resurgence. Voice recognition technology allows you to issue gameplay commands like hot routes using the USB headset for PlayStation 2 without pressing a button. New 989 online lobby features include tournaments, message boards, user mail, buddy lists, weekly roster updates, and a live sports ticker. Off-season film room sessions translate into victories. New offensive and defensive computer opponents were created from actual NFL coaches' films. The defense now floats and shifts in response to the strength of your offensive formation. The length of the pass, strength of coverage, pass rush intensity, receivers' catching ability, and quarterback's accuracy rating now determine pass completion percentage. New coaching staff confusing the competition. New team-specific playbooks include 425 offensive and 200 defensive plays. Defensive formation and schemes feature variations of man-zone coverages with specific personnel packages. On offense, spread-style formations and West Coast offenses let you manage the game like a real NFL coach. Online license terms available at www.us.playstation.com/user agreements and in-game. So there you go, NFL Game Day 2004 sealed for the PS2. So those are the PS2 games I got at J&L Games. Next up, we'll go right to the Dreamcast games that I grabbed, and these are pretty pricey. First up, we have San Francisco Rush 2049, $40. Adrenaline to the third power. You got race, stunt, and battle. San Francisco Rush 2049, the original arcade racing game with the 3 action-packed games in one. Race mode, scream through futuristic San Francisco tracks. Stunt mode, insane air and gravity-defying tricks. Battle mode, lock and load your way through 8 killer battle arenas. 19 all-new tracks, 13 selectable cars, all-new customization. All-new wing feature, fly through the streets of San Francisco with more control in midair and perform cool stunts and tricks. 1 to 4 player modes. All-new online competition, compete against your friends in ghost matches by uploading and downloading the best times to the internet. No load time. So for Midway, we have San Francisco Rush 2049 for the Dreamcast. Next up for the Dreamcast, for $20, we have Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness. Miss Pac-Man is back in an all-new, amazing 3D adventure. Chomp your way through the mystical worlds to rescue Professor Pac, free the lost worlds of Pac-Land from the horrid witch Mesmerelda. Videogame's most famous and favorite heroine is back to save the day. Over 180 mazes, 4 magical worlds, Cleopatra, Pac-Ping Harbor, Crystal Caves, and Haunted Halloween. Easy controls, just like the original arcade. No buttons necessary so you can focus on the fun. Includes the original arcade classic, special multiplayer modes, secret stages, hidden minigames, and bonus rounds. Fiendish new enemies and those old familiar ghosts. Collect the 4 gems of virtue: truth, generosity, wisdom, and courage. Again, for the Dreamcast, Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness. Also for the Dreamcast, I picked this up for $35. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, 2 engines, 1 champion, no limits. Field of 4, 600 miles per hour, 4 feet off the ground. Relive all the thrill and excitement of the Pod Racer sequence from Star Wars Episode 1. Hang on tight with afterburners on. Pod Racers max out at a simulated 600 miles per hour. Race in furious competition against 21-plus opponents. Take on over 21 tracks on 8 unique worlds. Avoid hazards such as methane lakes, meteor showers, and Tusken Raiders. Spectacular 3D environments. Vehicle sound effects and epic soundtrack taken directly from Episode 1. Use Sega Dreamcast internet connection to upload high scores via the Sega Dreamcast network. Official Star Wars website, StarWars.com. From LucasArts, we have Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for the Dreamcast. And the last Dreamcast game I grabbed for $35 was Spider-Man from Activision. You don't just play it, you live it. He spins a web, swings across the sky, and lands with a somersault onto the Daily Bugle building. Who is this masked hero? It's you. Fight, jump, and web-sling as Spider-Man as you take on a legion of sinister villains. The city is depending on you. Start swinging. Wall crawl and web sling in a totally free-roaming 3D New York. Fight notorious bosses and an assortment of freak specimens, criminals, and tunnel dwellers. Web shooters and spider sense let you thwart your enemy's sinister plans. Activision.com. For the Dreamcast, we have Spider-Man. Now, we picked up a couple of N64 games as well. We have 3 of them, so let's go right on into those. As I told you before, when I went over the Game Boy Color version, this was going to be a common theme. $60 sealed, Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness for the N64. Miss Pac-Man is back in an all-new, amazing 3D adventure. Chomp your way through mystical worlds to save Pac-Land. Free the lost worlds of Pac-Land from their horrid witch Mesmerelda. Videogame's most famous and favorite heroine is back to save the day. Over 180 mazes, 4 magical worlds, Cleopatra, Pac-Ping Harbor, Crystal Caves, and Haunted Halloween. Easy controls, just like the original arcade, no buttons necessary so you can focus on the fun. Fiendish new enemies and those old familiar ghosts. Collect the 4 gems of virtue: truth, generosity, wisdom, and courage. Includes the original arcade classic, special multiplayer races, or special multiplayer modes, and secret stages, hidden minigames, and bonus rounds. From Namco, we have Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness sealed for the N64. Throw that over here. Next up for the N64 for $40, I picked up Mickey Speedway USA, high-speed hijinks with Mickey and friends. Buckle up and get ready to race. Rally across America with Mickey and friends. Race around 20 all-American courses from Alaska to the Everglades as you try to track down the weasels and rescue poor Dognap Pluto. Use Ludwig von Drake's wacky weapons such as the anti-Gravo Kit Magno Flyer or the Stormy Weather Whenever Engager to give you the edge. Then blast past your friends and listen as the drivers taunt each other using Disney's original character voices. Mickey Mouse in his own kart racing game. It's kooky kart action complete with crazy courses, wacky weapons, and Mickey Mouse. All your favorite Disney characters. Play as Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, or Pete, plus discover additional hidden characters. Madcap multiplayer mode. Use up to 4 players can race Up to 4 players can race on 20 different courses or compete in 4 different battle mode arenas. From Disney Interactive and Rareware for the N64, we have Mickey Speedway USA. And then the last PS4 game last N64 game I was able to grab is a copy of Jeopardy for $25. Join your host Alex Trebek in the Nintendo 64 version of Jeopardy! With its 3D rendered set, high-quality 16-bit audio, and detailed video capture of Alex Trebek, you will feel as if you were really on the set. 4,000 brand new answers and questions, 650 different categories directly from the TV show, 3D rendered studio, and 16-bit audio. Again, from Take-Two Interactive, we have Jeopardy! For the N64. Okay, now, for one game for the Sega Saturn, I picked this up used for $60. It is Street Fighter Alpha Warrior's Dreams. As you can see, turn it around. Dare to walk on the dangerous side of the street. Intense, brutal combat. The world has never encountered such a powerful collection of fighters in one tournament until now. Every warrior's dream. The most devastating Street Fighters of all time assembled to battle in one ultimate contest. Armed with an arsenal of new martial arts moves, super combos, and deadly secrets, the legendary competitors Ryu, Chun-Li, Ken, and Sagat collide with a lethal new combination of fierce opponents. Infamous aggressors Charlie, Saddam, Birdie, and Guy show they play for keeps when they battle on the street. The new contenders Rose and Adon draw powers of the soul and nature to annihilate opponents and secure fame, power, and prestige. The most extreme one-on-one warfare ever. Features: 12 fierce Street Fighters in all, new special attacks, super combos, and counterattacks, a new mix of classic and intense new competitors, a precise translation of the #1 Smash arcade hit, fantastic next-generation speed and control, all new eye-popping art, animation, and blasting sound effects, 2 modes of play, arcade 1-player and versus mode 2-player, new training mode for practicing multi-hit combos and strategies, 1 or 2-player. For the Sega Saturn, we have Street Fighter Alpha Warrior's Dreams. So I'll throw that right in here. And then we picked up some Nintendo DS stuff, so let's grab those games. Alright, first up, for $10, we have Brain Quest, ages 8 to 10, grades 3 and 4, 6,000 questions from EA. Here you have It's Fun to Be Smart. Test your smarts with 6,000 questions. Play quest mode to win rewards and customize 6 scenes. Challenge friends with Hot Swap. Multiplayer includes Sudoku. EA.com/BrainQuest. Again, for the DS, we have Brain Quest, ages 8 to 10, grades 3 and 4, 6,000 questions. So throw that over here. Next up, for the DS, for $15, we have Brain Buster Puzzle Pack, Slitherlink, Sudoku, Nurikabi, Light On, and Kakuru. The puzzle game sensations that are sweeping a nation. And this guy says, warning, sharpening your mind can be very addictive. Test your logic with 5 of the most addictive number games of all time. Let your mind come alive with these easy-to-learn, tricky-to-master, brain-busting challenges. Simple-to-use touchscreen controls, infinity number of puzzles to play, unlockable special features and puzzles, tutorials for helping you master the intricacies of the games. Wow. 5 fun number games to entertain your brain. Sudoku, Kakuru, Slitherlink, Light On, and Nurikabi. So we have Brain Buster Puzzle Pack for the DS. Sealed for the DS for $20, I picked up Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor from Sierra. The seal is a little bit broken over here. Battle Ancient Forces of Evil. Embark on an action-packed adventure set in the mythical world of the Rob Cohen film, The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Play as Rick and Alex O'Connell in this quest to stop the powerful, shape-shifting mummy, fight through forbidden Chinese tombs, and explore other breathtaking environments. Battle epic enemies, experience intense gun and hand-to-hand combat, decode puzzles, and evade deadly traps. www.mummyvideogame.com and www.themummy.com. From Sierra and Universal, we have The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, sealed for the DS. Next up, also sealed for the DS for $20, Disney Stitch Jam. Jam with Stitch, in a music rhythm adventure to save Angel from Dr. Hamsterville. Knock out enemies in 10 musical action-packed missions. Unlock and play as Angel, Ruben, and Felix in free mode. Disguise Stitch and friends in cool costumes. Join the new online community for Disney gamers. D-Gamer, details inside. Disney.com/StitchJam. Disney.com/VideoGames. Wireless broadband access required for online play. Basic reading abilities needed to fully enjoy this game. Brand new for the DS, Disney Stitch Jam. Next up, also sealed for the DS for $25, we have Disney's The Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure from Buena Vista Games. Discover undersea adventures with Princess Ariel. Explore Princess Ariel's world and help her friends. Sing with Ariel to unlock treasure chests. Uncover sunken treasures and decorate Ariel's grotto. Play music wirelessly in the Barnacle Band with up to 5 friends. Basic reading ability isn't needed to fully enjoy this game. BVG.com. For Buena Vista Games, we have Disney's The Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure sealed for the DS. This is not sealed, but from Disney we have Power Rangers Super Legends 15th Anniversary, $30 used. Plays the greatest Power Rangers of all time. Choose from 16 Power Rangers, battle enemies with massive combos and super moves, pilot a high-speed flyer in combat with Megazords, team up with a friend wirelessly. Disney.com/videogames. Basic reading abilities needed to fully enjoy this game. DS multi-card wireless connected games require 1 game card per player. From Disney Interactive Studios used for the Nintendo DS, we have Power Rangers Super Legends 15th Anniversary. Also used for the DS for $15, I picked up Batman, the Brave and the Bold, the video game from WB Games. Team up and play the adventure. Feel the boldness of adventure and the bravery of justice as you become Batman and his superhero teammates in the video game based on your favorite animated TV series, Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Tread through the exciting terrain of the DC Universe in the side-scrolling action thrill ride as you solve puzzles, fight dozens of foes, discover new worlds, save the day, and see if you truly have what it takes to be a superhero. Control Batmite in the Wii version by linking it with the Nintendo DS version. Superheroes assemble. Play as Batman or one of his most powerful allies. Adventures abroad. Jump, swing, and punch through wild worlds. It's all about the gadgets. Unlock awesome gadgets such as belt sword, bat grenades, and more. Big-time baddies. Brawl against some of the worst villains in the DC Universe. Again, for the Nintendo DS used, we have Batman, the Brave and the Bold, the video game. Next up used, picked this up for $15. We have Top Gun from Mastiff. Full throttle dogfighting too big for one screen. Crash and burn and become the best of the best. Fly the Navy's premier combat aircraft into enemy airspace and engage in intense multiplayer dogfighting and air-to-ground action. There are no points for second place. Single-player multiplayer action for 2 to 4. Fly the heavily armed F-14, F-A-18, and F-16 as well as other aircraft. Again, from Mastiff, for the DS used, we have Top Gun. Used for the DS from Namco, we have Pack and Roll. Pack is back and ready to roll. Play Pac-Man like a trackball. Use your stylus to make him go forward, turn corners, dash with all his might, or come to a super quick stop. With this much control, it's almost like you're in the game yourself. Go around the world. Explore various worlds from Castle Pack to Gyro Jungle and Flaming Fortress. Pac-Man faces challenges like the moving floor, dash panels, and wind zones as he chomps on pellets and ghosts, and much more. Get special power items like the feather hat to make him float, or an armor that increases Pac-Man's defense. You can also collect jewelry to unlock the original Pac-Man to play with a friend. So again, from Namco for the DS used, Pack and Roll. Pick this up used, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith from Ubisoft for $14.99. The ultimate Jedi action experience. With the fate of the Republic in your hands, you must master the ways of the Force and resist its darkest temptations. Use deadly weapon combos and maneuvers to defeat legendary Star Wars villains, including General Grievous and Count Dooku. Discover formidable Jedi powers, including the Force Push, Saber Throw, and Jedi Mind Trick. Pilot classic Star Wars ships in action-packed 4-player wireless dogfights. Multiplayer wireless connected games require 1 game card per player. Again, from Ubisoft and LucasArts, www.ubi.com, we have Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith for the DS. And the last DS game I got used for $15 was Lego Batman, the video game from WB. Gotham City is falling to pieces. Play as Batman and his sidekick Robin as you build, dive, swing, and fight your way through Gotham City. Then jump into the story from the other side and play as Batman's foes. There is no rest for the good or the evil. Master unique superhero power suits, moves, gadgets, and weapons. Explore your mischievous side as you wield the powers of your favorite villains. Take control of favorite vehicles like the Lego Batmobile and Lego Batwing. DS multi-card wireless connected games require 1 game card per player. Again, from WB and TT Games, we have Lego Batman, the video game used for the DS. And now for the rest of the games I got at J&L Games. Okay. Hold on 1 second. So, first up, this is sealed for the Game Boy Color. For $30, I picked up All-Star Baseball 2000. Derek Jeter, 2-time world champion from Acclaim Sports. Updated player animations like dives, jumps, and slides, designed exclusively for Game Boy Color. Advanced pitching controls, select pitch location, type, and speed. Home and away uniforms for all 30 teams. 3D full-color stadiums with individual grass and turf patterns. Updated artificial intelligence for the ultimate in MLB realism. Home run derby, all-star game season, and more. Advanced batting control, hit line drives, grounders, and fly balls. www.acclaimsports.com, www.majorleaguebaseball.com, www.bigleaguers.com. Again, sealed for the Game Boy Color, we have All-Star Baseball 2000. Next up, for the Game Boy Color, this is not sealed but used, $15. Disney's Donald Duck Going Quackers from Disney Interactive and Ubisoft Entertainment. Donald is going quackers to save Daisy. Donald runs amok, goes berserk, and gets hyper across 25 levels and 5 cartoon-like worlds in this hilarious quest to rescue Daisy. Defeat the evil magician Murloc, then collect all the pieces of Gyro Gearloose's teleporter to send Murloc to a new dimension. Features favorite characters Daisy, Huey, Dewey, Louie, and the Beagle Boys, and more. Control Donald's explosive temper, confront wacky characters and obstacles, run, jump, smash, attack, and butt stomp 90 different enemies. Disney Interactive and Ubisoft Entertainment, www.ubisoft.com for the Game Boy Color used. We have Disney's Donald Duck Going Quackers. For the Game Boy Advance used for $15, I picked up EA Sports Madden 2003, the #1 selling pro football franchise. The best gets better. Features all 32 NFL teams take the field in their new realigned divisions. Hook up with another Game Boy Advance system and play head-to-head. Play in exhibition mode, playoffs mode, and an in-depth season mode with up-to-the-minute stats. Create a player from scratch, participate in a scouting combine, and add your created player to any NFL roster. Gameplay on the Game Boy Advance video game system. Again, for the Game Boy Advance used, we have Madden 2003. Now, these two I was pretty happy to get at a decent price. They're for the original Game Boy. Not really rare, although one is kind of uncommon. This isn't it. This is Side Pocket I picked up used by Data East for $15. Rack and Roll. Chalk up and get ready for some cool pool action. Stroke a mean cue and you might just work your way into the big time in the pocket competition. Like all rookie hustlers, you'll start at club class, but with skill and a little luck, you might just make it to city class, state class, then world class. It's a tough road, lots of balls to sink and trick shots to make, so grab a cue and hit the felt. 9-ball practice mode, world-class pocket competition, intense one-player gaming, or take on a friend in head-to-head action using GameLink. Great pool action for your Game Boy. This game pack for use with the Game Boy Compact Video Game System from Data East. For the original Game Boy, we have Side Pocket. And the last thing is not a game, but it is in really, really damn good shape, and I picked it up for $10 used, and I'm really happy. It literally comes with everything that it would have come with had it been not opened. The box has a little bit of scratches here and there, but not by much. It is InfoGenius Productivity Pack Spell Checker and Calculator. 60,000 of the most frequently used words based on Houghton Mifflin's American Heritage Dictionary from GameTech. So if we go on the back here, now you can check the spelling of over 60,000 of the most frequently misspelled words without consulting the dictionary. Just type in the word as you think it is spelled, and the InfoGenius Spell Checker instantly shows you the correct spelling. If the word is misspelled, the Spell Checker finds its most probable match phonetically. Plus, the cartridge converts your Game Boy into a full-function calculator. It's the ideal tool for business people, students, and travelers. Much faster and more convenient than any dictionary, the Spell Checker and Calculator is perfect for desk, home, and use on the go. Put it all right at your fingertips with instant access to the information you need when you need it with the InfoGenius Spell Checker and Calculator. This game pack for use with the Game Boy Compact Video Game System. So I grabbed this. That is the games from New York City. All in all, spent about $3 grand. Might have been a little bit over that. And today, this is an added bonus to this video. I actually went to J Street here in the Berkshire Mall in Lanesboro, Massachusetts, because I needed to buy a cheap used Saturn game so I could switch cases to fix my In the Hunt game that I showed you guys last video. But the guy was pretty cool there and said he'd just switch a case out for me for free because I was picking some stuff up. So I'm going to show you the stuff I picked up. Nothing really, anything to write home about. I just want to make sure that before I go into this, I don't already have one of the games. I have a feeling that I already do, which would be a fucking shame, obviously, in itself. But let's just take a look, see where we're at. I'm going to open up my trusty iPad, and for those of you who have not have an iOS, download these apps if you collect games. They're great. They're called puregaming.org. And you can just download all of them for the systems that you have. So if I go to my collection, do I have this game. I think I might. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the hell? Well, maybe not. Wait a minute. Yeah, I do. No, I needed it. Unbelievable. So great. I can show you the games I grabbed. Let me just update this. We'll go right into it. Happy about that. So, get out of here. We go to the... We go here. What did I pick up? Was it this? And the Hunt we've already seen, so I don't need to go through that with you guys. Oh, it's to the PS1. Whoopsie daisy. Let's go back. Let's see here. Here it is. Okay, and then the last game I need to do is here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Pick up this. Alright, so I grabbed a few games here at J Street in the Berkshire Mall, nothing really to write home about. First up for the PS, I got 2 PS1 games and 1 N64 game. First up for the PS1 for $10, I picked up the next Tetris. Wow, I'm dangerously close to fucking this whole video up. The next Tetris from Atari. If you think you've mastered Tetris, then think again. Now there is the next Tetris, a revolutionary twist on the classic puzzle game. More features, more challenging, and more addictive than ever. The next Tetris, it'll blow your mind. Key features: multiple play modes including classic Tetris and the next Tetris, intense head-to-head competition, automatic game leveler makes every match a toss-up, new breakaway and sticky Tetris blocks, special visual and gravity effects, DualShock analog controller support. From Atari and Hasbro Interactive, we have the next Tetris for the PS1. That right here. And also for the PS1, I picked up for $15 Enter Electro Spider-Man 2 from Activision. The battle for New York has begun. The city is at risk and only you can save it from the evil clutches of an old enemy, the powerful Electro. He has a mysterious new device that will make his million volts of destruction even more deadly. But with Spider-Man on the job, Electro is in for the shock of his life. Enter Electro Spider-Man 2. You don't just play it, you live it. Supervillains galore. Electro has been joined by Sandman and others in a nefarious scheme to bring the city to its knees. New attacks and combos. Spidey's got a brand new bag of tricks including ice and taser webbing. You are what you wear. Create a Spider lets you equip Spidey with the right tools for the right job by mixing and matching suits and powers. So, www.marvel.com, Activision.com. For the PS1, we have Enter Electro Spider-Man 2. And lastly, the last game I picked up at J Street, also a Spider-Man related game for the N64 in pretty damn good shape for $40 used. Just rip off this price. Is Spider-Man from Activision. You don't just play it, you live it. He spins a web, swings across the sky, and lands with a somersault onto the Daily Bugle building. Who is this masked hero? It's you. Fight, jump, and web sling as Spider-Man as you take on a legion of sinister villains. The cities, depending on you, start swinging. Wall crawl and web sling in a totally free-roaming 3D New York. Fight notorious bosses like Scorpion and an assortment of freak specimens, criminals, and tunnel dwellers. Web shooters and spider sense let you thwart your enemy's sinister plans. www.activision.com, www.marvel.com. For the N64, we have Spider-Man. And the game that I was waiting for before I wanted to start this video, but it came in today, so it actually is fine that I had to redo it. It is extremely rare. It's for the original Game Boy. It is not a Nintendo release, meaning this game came from a separate company that illegally, basically, not a mod, but it basically, it created a game for the system, and it was able to get around the security parameters to allow it to do it. It is a company called Wisdom Tree, and they were only made games for systems that were based on Christianity. So, without further ado, probably one of the rarest games in my collection now, we have the King James Bible for use on Game Boy from Wisdom Tree. For play on Game Boy Compact Video Game System. This product is designed and manufactured by Wisdom Tree Incorporated. It is not designed, manufactured, sponsored, or endorsed by Nintendo. Nintendo and Game Boy are registered trademarks of Nintendo of America Incorporated. If you look on the back, here's what it says, great for all ages. The King James Bible for Game Boy includes the entire KJV Bible, word search, simple or complex, 2 Bible word games. Finally, Game Boy has found its ultimate calling. The Bible on Game Boy is the perfect addition to my devotion time and Bible studies. The complete word search and quick reference capabilities make it a must for anyone who owns a Game Boy. Keep a fresh set of batteries around. You'll be reading this Bible a lot, says Andy Chrisman from For Him. Game Boy not included. Again, Wisdom Tree. Pretty cool stuff that I was able to pick this up complete. It's probably one of my rarest titles now for the Game Boy, if not one of the rarest, easily top 10, I think, in my collection. So pretty cool stuff. Guys, thanks for watching. I have a ton of awesome stuff coming in the mail from eBay and Amazon in the next coming weeks. So stay tuned for more pickup videos. But again, I appreciate you guys sitting through all of this. And we'll see you guys Thursday for Scratch Ticket Thursday with Kenny. And as always, thanks for watching and thanks for becoming a subscriber. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It helps me out a lot, especially with these video game videos. I want everybody who's a video game enthusiast to be able to see and enjoy my collection. And if you're a video game enthusiast and have your own channel, tell me all about it, and maybe I can give you a shout out and you can do the same. And we'll like each other's videos and subscribe to one another. So thanks again a lot for the time. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys soon.